Greetings all, this is the Realm of Tarvos. I am Master Tarvos. Welcome. I'd like to talk about something I've seen quite a bit in the Division 2 forums lately. There have been a number of threads where someone will post something like, "This game is too hard for me to solo through, so I want Ubisoft to make it easier." This of course leads to a slew of posts saying, well, you need to learn how to play the game, or it's not that tough, or, well, you just suck, or any number of other really pointless and generally unhelpful things. So from my point of view, we have an issue. Alright, so how do we fix this problem? Without being able to control the postings of the responders, what we need to do is put out worthwhile information that's potentially helpful to the original poster. So, in that vein, I am going to attempt to put out some information that I think is worthwhile, that I think might be helpful, and might be able to help somebody who's new to the game get through it without as much hassle. Here's my list. 1. It's not like any other shooting game you have ever played, so don't play it that way. The Division 2 is an entirely, I won't say entirely, but it's a vastly different game than even its predecessor, The Division. It's a very specific type of game and needs to be played in a specific type of way, and it may take some practice to get to the point where you can be what you consider to be good. Number 2, this is a cover-based game. Find cover, use cover. Cover is your friend. Now, ironically, coming from me, this is really interesting advice, being as I have a tendency to forget about cover and stand out in the open and get killed. This doesn't mean that it's not good advice, it just means that I don't take my own advice. Number 3, don't push. Stop and think. Take it slowly. The content of the game isn't going anywhere. It doesn't matter if it takes you a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, or a year to get to the highest levels of the game. There's no hurry. They're not taking it away. It's not going anywhere. The original game is still there 3 years after launch. People still play it. People still enjoy it. And it's not going anywhere either. Neither game is taking anything away. Take your time. Number 4, distance can be your friend. Getting too close may very well get you killed. Now, you're going to have to get close to start fights. That's just the way it is. But that doesn't mean you have to stay close. When you arrive in a location where you're going to have a battle, look at what's going on. Try and find a way to make the enemy come to you, and try and find a way to make them have to come in a controlled fashion so that you have time to deal with them. One way to do this is distance. If you go up, start your fight, and retreat back, say half a block or a block, they'll follow. Some of them will follow right away. Some of them will follow a little later. Some of them may not follow at all, and you may have to go back and repeat the process. The point is that as you're doing this, you're thinning the herd. You're getting rid of some of the enemy, and you're not having to deal with them all at the same time in the same place where you can easily get overwhelmed. Number 5, you're going to die. That's just the way it is. Get used to it. I do not believe it is possible to play much more than a few minutes in this game and not die at least once. Now, I suppose there are probably people out there who have played, at least an hour or so and not died. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying that for the average person, you're going to die in the first hour. I can pretty much guarantee it. How you deal with that will determine how much you enjoy this game. If you let the fact that you die every time really get under your skin, you're not going to enjoy the game. So use your death to your advantage. Learn from it. Why did you die? Did you walk around a corner into a group of unexpected enemies? Did you get ambushed by somebody who came running up behind you while you were in the middle of a firefight? Did you just make a stupid move and try and take on too many people at one time in the wrong place? Number 6, use the radar. In your heads-up display, you will see a radar screen. You can adjust the size of the radar screen. You can adjust the position of the radar screen. The radar screen will tell you where your enemies are coming from. It won't tell you how many, and it won't tell you how far away they are. But it will tell you what direction they're coming from. It will also tell you if there are any. If you don't see any red blocks on the radar, there's no enemy around, which is a good thing. If you see them and they're behind you or off to your sides, you have a problem. Number 7, skills that heal are always a good option. Now, there are several healing skills. You have a healing hive, you have a healing drone, you have the chem launcher that has a healing chemical in it. You eventually, when you get into the specializations, have a seeker mine that heals. These are all very good options, and they will help keep you alive. They're not the only thing that's going to keep you alive, but they are things that will help. It is a really good idea to use one healing skill and one offensive skill. This way, at least you can keep yourself going, and if you're in a longer protracted fight, you don't have to worry quite so much. Number 8, staying in cover. Now, I normally don't move much when I fight. I tend to find a couple of places, and I will move only if the fight depends on it. But if I can make it so that they have to come to me and I can fight from effectively the same place, that's what I will try and do. This doesn't mean that that's the best plan for everybody. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is the best plan. Do what works for you. Just remember, use your cover. Number 9, don't forget your armor kits. Your armor kits, even with healing skills, are going to be what keep you alive. Watch your health and armor bars. If your healing skill is in a cooldown period and you're getting down to where you're only dealing with health and no armor, it's time to install an armor kit. It doesn't matter how many you have if you don't use them. I have a very bad habit of this. I tend to forget about them. I tend to get caught up in the action of what's going on or whatever, and I forget that I have them, and I end up dying. Don't be me. Pay attention to your armor kits. Use your armor kits. They will keep you alive. Invest skill points in getting more armor kits as soon as possible so that you can stay alive. Which of course leads us to our last spot on the list, which is number 10. If you decide to play PvP or in a co-op type spot where you can be killed by other players, treat them as you would like to be treated. If you don't mind getting killed, if you don't mind having several players come at you all at one time and overwhelm you, feel free to gang up with a group of your friends and go do that. If you would rather be treated with a little bit of respect and at least attempt a stand-up fight between two people who have effectively the same equipment and effectively the same amount of ability to withstand hits, then that's the way you ought to play it. Personally, I don't like PvP. I don't like being in areas where other people can kill me. I will die to the NPCs in the game for days on end. But when I have to deal with other humans, I always expect the worst. And they've yet to disappoint me. So, there we have it. There's the list. If you have a comment on something I've said, or if you have a suggestion for a future video, or something that you think should have been included in here, leave it in the section below. If you liked this, leave a like. If you want to see more of things like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And remember, if you're not enjoying the game you're playing the wrong game. This has been the Realm of Tarvos. I have been Master Tarvos.